eyebrows lifting dramatically. "It's a beautiful day out. Why don't you put down that poison and join our fitness group?" Dot continued to march on the spot, squinting at the expensive new exercise watch on her wrist that she had recently purchased. Julia had tried to teach her how to use it correctly, but the technology had gone over her head. She missed the days when devices had buttons and not just touch screens. "I think I'll pass today, Gran," Julia said, smiling to the rest of the girls behind Dot, who didn't seem as enthusiastic about their new club. "Clocking up lots of steps. 8,000 so far this morning," she announced proudly. "I've decided we should do 100 steps for every year of our age. Since I appear to be the oldest, we've got another 300 left." There was a grumble from the girls as they adjusted their sweatbands and sluggishly attempted to copy Dot's eagerness. It had only been a week since Dot had started her new Health Kick Club, but Julia was sure the numbers were already dwindling. "You should take it a little easier," Julia suggested after sipping her beer. "Remember what the doctor said about your tricky hip?" "My hip has never felt better, thank you very much," Dot cried. "We've got another lap of the village green before we can sit down. Barker, you should stop eating so many of Julia's cakes. You're starting to get fat. Moustache!" Dot twirled around, pushed through the girls, and power walked out of the tent, her head held high and her shoulders forced back. The rest of the girls followed, some of them eyeing the barrels of beer longingly as they left. "Am I getting fat?" Barker mumbled as he prodded the tiny bit of softness poking through his white shirt. "Ignore her. She saw some documentary about fitness for old people on the telly, and she hasn't shut up about it since. She's already warned me about the dangers of heart disease 4 times this week. Sue and I went to her cottage for dinner last night, and she lectured us about meat and dairy while we ate steamed asparagus and kale. Knowing Gran like I do, she'll be bored in a couple of days, and she'll already be on to the next thing." "You didn't answer my question." "Of course you're not getting fat," Julia insisted with a chuckle. "You're in better shape than most men in this village."
"Only most men?"
"Do you want me to tell you you're in the best shape to make you feel better?"
"Yes, please."
"You're in the best shape, Barker," Julia said, glancing down to his barely there stomach. "Although maybe she's right about the cakes."
"That's your fault," Barker cried, readjusting his posture so he could suck his minuscule stomach in. "You know chocolate cake is my weakness."
"I'm trying to perfect my recipe," she said casually. "Nobody is forcing you to eat it."
"Maybe if you weren't such a great baker, I wouldn't need to. Perhaps you should have been that teenager who drank beer on the street corner."
He winked and kissed her on the cheek, the malty scent of ale lingering on his breath. Julia felt her face flush as the kiss sent the pit of her stomach into a wild swirl. It had been 3 weeks since they had confessed their love to each other, after only a couple of months of dating. But it was the small things that kept taking Julia by surprise. After 12 years of marriage to a man whose idea of romance was buying Julia a bottle of whatever perfume was on sale once a year on Valentine's Day, Julia was enjoying the feeling of being in love.
"Oh, more trouble,"
Barker mumbled, nodding to the opening of the tent once more. Julia turned around, with his kiss still fresh on her cheek. Her heart skipped another beat when she saw Jessie, her 16-year-old lodger, sneaking in, a hood pulled low over her pale face. Leaving her beer, Julia hurried through the crowd and across the tent, her pastel yellow dress fluttering behind her. "What are you doing here?" Jessie demanded, looking down her nose at Julia, her lips snarling into a scowl. "I'm the one who should be asking that." "You hate beer." "I'm here with Barker."
"Oh,"
Jessie said with a roll of her eyes. "I was bored at home. Thought I'd come and see what was happening here." "And not try and sneak some underage alcohol?" Julia asked with a smirk, as she folded her arms across her chest. "You're right, I don't like beer. Let me grab my bag and we'll head home." Jessie grumbled as she slid her hood back to let her dark hair fall over her shoulders. She had been living with